What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Wrestling Junkies podcast. I'm Mr. Cincinnati, and as always, I'm joined by the podcast dad, Choops. How we feeling, bud?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Not too shabby. It's another day in paradise. But I could do that too.
Just trying to get my camera to focus. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
I want to be blurry for the fans.
Kenny?
No, I haven't watched it yet.
Still
I'm on Righteous Gemstones. Leave me alone.
I gotta start that too. Okay, all right.
Yes, you do. It's some of the funniest things. I mean, it's some of the funniest stuff I've ever watched.
Maybe that's something I'll get Mr. Ramsey to watch with me later. Still trying to
100%.
decide what to watch with dinner. So yeah, that might be the move there. But okay, that's a strong recommendation. I like it.
Mm-hmm. The podcast mom will say the same thing. Watch it.
Strong words from the podcast mom. Anyway, welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We got a great show for you ahead. As always, first and foremost, make sure that you're giving us a follow on X and TikTok at Junkies Pod. Man, we're damn near on the road to 1,000 subscribers on TikTok, or followers, I should say, and tells you what's coming next here. But yeah, give us a follow. You'll always find great clips of past episodes in our archives, great interviews. New episode of Wrestle Sips is coming this week. We're going to pay homage to the 4-time AEW Women's World Champion Toni Storm with the Storm Royale cocktail. I tried these out over the weekend. They're fucking delicious, man.
I'm excited. I'm maybe staying away from alcohol for a little bit, but we'll get back on that wagon here soon.
There's a mocktail version of it. Don't you worry.
Come on. I'll be back on the wagon.
Well, you can't say that I didn't try to help. While you're at it, go help our friends out at the Main Event Wrestling Network at mainevent_net on all social media platforms. If you love great podcasts, fan art, blogs, memes, you name it, we have it. Brand new episode of NXT Night Shift tonight with Mr. OTM and Jay Gold breaking down all of the action. First time in NXT history, Stephanie Vaquer is going to be defending both NXT Women's and North American Championships against Jada Parker and Fallon Henley. We're going to be breaking all of that down, but you don't want to miss all of the coverage on NXT Night Shift. And also, go check out our friends at Gorilla Press Apparel, gorillapressapparel.bigcartel.com. Remember, promo code WJP2024 gets you 25% off site-wide. Again, incredible guys we work with here. If you're a wrestler, promoter, manager, referee, you need merch, DM Will at Gorilla Press APP on X. They do incredible work. We are going to be recording some new Coastal Empire Wrestling content. Make sure to give them a follow on X at CEW Savannah. Coastal Countdown is coming this week. We will be breaking down Springtime Slaughter, and our guest will be Tommy Mars and Nikki 8, the Superstars. Man, we talked about them after the Empire. Not the greatest showing against the Allen brothers last week. I take that back. That's strongly worded. It was a great match.
I'm gonna let you say
they had to win a bunch of times.
Mm-hmm. Hey, they're gonna yell at us. Get ready.
Probably, but they got bigger fish to fry. I mean, dude, we talked about this match here. I mean, this is a four team. I don't. Good hand superstars exhaust. Yes, it's what it is. It's slaughter. It's chaos. It's gonna be violent and poetic and just it's gonna be really fucking good. Yeah.
It's gonna be a crazy show. If you haven't got tickets yet, go get them if you're in that area, because I think this is something you won't want to miss.
Yes. We also have coming up this weekend, Jameson Shook presents Hot to Go, Action Future Showcase winner for 2024, just announced to be in the SCI this year. Jameson Shook, the host of this incredible event, is going to be joining us tomorrow to talk all about it. This one is also going to be just as chaotic, and can't wait. I mean, we've been singing Shook's praises for damn near a year now. You don't want to miss this conversation.
Yeah, I heard something about Legos. Get ready. Oh.
Look who's back.
My king.
It's been a while. Good to have King Chris back in the chats. I've been talking enough. It is time to introduce our guest. Podcast dad, I think one of our favorite parts of the job is just getting to meet other people that like talking about wrestling. Ain't that the truth?
It's a lot of fun when you find like-minded people who like talking wrestling and don't get into the tribalism crap. So yes.
And this guy does not get into the tribalism, quite frankly. He's one of my favorites that I've come across in the last couple of months here. He's Devontae Forever. He's out of New York. admittedly, he is a Steelers fan. I'm going to remain just incredibly composed here today because it's you know what? It's the off season. Doesn't matter just yet. September is a long ways away. It doesn't mean that we cannot share the same stage, talk a little bit of wrestling. So everybody, please welcome Devontae Forever to the stream. Devontae, thanks for joining us, man. How are you?
Good, man. How are you? I mean, we cancel each other out on the Steelers Bengals part because we have an Eagles fan in here, so like we can't. Yep. We got nothing to say right now, so we can be fair and talk some wrestling today.
We actually have 2 Eagles fans. Shout out to the King.
All right, yeah. King Chris isn't. Yeah, he is watching live. So okay, I'll give him that.
Okay, all right, Mr. Cincinnati, stop being butthurt. Let's talk some wrestling.
I'm not.
I'm going to ask the first question. Be quiet.
Sure.
How do we feel about the John Cena heel turn?
Oh, I love it. I love it. I've been waiting for this moment since like 2010. I would probably say since honestly, I take that back. Probably since 2006 when he got booed out of the building in ECW. I've been waiting for this moment. And I think right now it's perfect. Like I like how he's attacking the fans and he's just like planting that seed. But more importantly, the thing about it now that I think about it with him and then Cody is one, this makes John Cena the perfect person to beat Cody Rhodes for the title. Because first it was like, who's going to beat Cody? Who makes sense? Because Cody's the biggest babyface and there wasn't no gigantic heel at the point to beat him. Because he's not, I don't think Cody's going to hold the belt for 4 years. Like, I just don't see that happening at all.
No.
So with that, I was like, well, who can beat Cody for the title? And then when John Cena turned heel, I said, nope, that's it. All right, there you go. Now that makes sense. And then you not only do you have somebody who's WWE born and bred, he wins, he beats Ric Flair's record. You have that all under the WWE win. Oh, this person is the greatest of all time. They've been marketing him for months. And now you have Cody back on the chase where to me, he's the most effective. Any babyface going for the title is much better than when they have the title. So I just think Cena in this heel turn is perfect. The only thing I'm concerned about, I'm honestly concerned for Cody. I don't know. I kind of feel like they're kind of saving Cody, I would say, because like John Cena is one of the most like he may not be somebody's favorite promo ever, but to me, John Cena is one of the most dangerous people on a microphone. Because like you look at because John Cena he has a style where he's gonna try to attack you straight in your heart. If there's one thing about burying people John Cena has, it's in his promo. You look at it's a Roman Reigns in like 2017. If he didn't turn into the tribal chief, it might not be pretty for Roman Reigns if he never turned into the tribal chief. You look at what he's done to The Miz, and the only few people who have went at him. Oh my God, The Rock. One of the greatest. That promo in my wrist, and it got ugly for him. It got really ugly for him. So I feel like Cody's gonna have to show a very different, very lethal side of him on the microphone versus where like The Rock is just gonna tell jokes that's gonna make us laugh at you. John Cena's gonna hit you where it hurts. So I would love to see Cody have that in him.
That's fair. So as far as we know you like the turn. Do you like how they are presenting Cena right now? Is there anything that you wish they had done differently, or are you liking what they're doing so far? Because we're only getting a limited window of this John Cena on a mic leading up to Mania.
So I think it's perfect because of where they are. So because they're on this European tour, in which I love the European crowds, but when you notice during promos, they don't really pay attention to promos. They kind of are just loud. They're having a fun time. They're chanting. It's like a big soccer game when they're in there. But so like I kind of like how he's going out of his way to make sure that they boo him, and I appreciate that because I feel like, for example, he said the Ric Flair line yesterday. Nobody said nothing in there. But when you go on the internet, everyone's like, oh, wow, he's just name drop Ric Flair. Wow, he's going after that. You can't really do those type of Easter eggs where they are. So I kind of do like it because on this European tour, he gets to go to cities he probably will never go to again in the WWE. I like it for that aspect, but I kind of like how I think he's saving some of like the whole thing that back in the States.
Yeah, no, I think that that's a really good way to look at it, because I think this Monday from London, last time these guys are going to be face to face until WrestleMania. So to get to use John Cena during the European tour, yes, it seemed that he was over there in that general vicinity filming something for a movie anyway. I think that this is great. The promos themselves are, I mean, they are precision shots at the WWE universe. I mean, I went back and watched this yesterday, and one of my favorite parts is he essentially goads them into saying what, and then calls them on doing it, just in a way that was just so masterclass that, like, he's one of those guys that doesn't necessarily need to have a writer with him, and they're not going to, if he doesn't want to use that, just give him the bullet points, and he got to exactly where he needed to be and made it look like child's play. I mean, I'm absolutely dumbfounded.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
1,000%.
So we do have Fernando in the chats here. Good to see you as always, my friend. I think the Cody Cena segment was almost the same as last week. There's definitely
5 weeks. We have 5 more weeks. There's time to do stuff. Like we gotta string this out a little bit. Like, we can't give you everything now. That would be my answer to Fernando. Like, I understand. We got 5 more weeks.
And I think in these 5 weeks, I feel like they have to come with something for Cody really to say to John Cena. Because, like, the thing about what makes this character of John Cena so, like, dangerous is the one angle everybody's going to use, whether it's, like, even, like, with Cody now, or if Cena fights, like, CM Punk down the line or something, they're all going to use you turned your back, you gave up, Mr. Never gave up, gave up. The one thing John Cena can say to Cody Rhodes is, when things got tough, you left too. So, like, what do you mean? Like it took you all these years to finish your stories. You had to leave. I stayed through being booed, being basically beating everybody. They're booing him out of the building, telling him he sucks all the time. John Cena never left. Cody did. So he's gonna be like, well, who really never gave up? If he fights CM Punk, he's gonna be like, you left for 10 years when things got tough. Y'all all gave up on me. And I just feel like that character is going to be just, if they let him go, it's going to get real dark for a lot of people on the microphone.
Yeah. And Fernando even wants to take it a step further. He wants to see them actually throw hands next week. I mean,
No.
I'll let you guys.
Don't touch till Mania.
At all.
I'm in the same boat. Yeah.
Don't touch till Mania. I'm already sold on the match. I don't need to see them brawl. Don't touch till Mania.
This is like the best alternative without Rock and Roman. This is like the best alternative we possibly could have gotten. Yeah. Like, this went from like being like, at first I was like, if you guys have seen the WrestleMania tickets, right? They're ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, when I first saw the prices, I was like, they have to be doing like Rock versus Roman, Cena versus Cody. That's the only way to justify how big those prices were. So then without The Rock, I was like, I don't know what they're going to do. I was like, I don't know what they're going to do to justify how expensive these prices are. John Cena turning heel, said, never mind. I stand corrected. Like,
yeah. No, that's because I did not want to see it during this run. Podcast Dad was very much why not? What is there to lose? And that's the thing. I mean, especially because nothing about the presentation has changed whatsoever. And that's what I think is what I enjoy the most about this is Cena's basically saying, I'm not doing really anything differently per se. This is all off of my blood, sweat, and tears. This is all off of my effort. You guys are dressed like me. I'm not dressed like all of it is just working on such a cerebral level that I just did not have even pictured as far as what a Cena heel turn would look like. But now that we're coming up on kind of the last appearance of Cena before WrestleMania, like you guys have mentioned, 5 weeks of a build. Devontae, I'm going to start with you. Does the final boss fuck with the American Nightmare at any point in time during the next 5 weeks?
I don't think within the next 5 weeks. I think you do it at WrestleMania. Like, I think you do it at WrestleMania, and you had that. It's everything what Stone Cold turning heel and set at WrestleMania 17 should have been. Where, like, I feel like Stone Cold, for that to work, Stone Cold should have turned heel way before WrestleMania. So then you have time for the fans to actually like get it. But they waited till WrestleMania, and I'm like, he's not. No, we want to cheer Stone Cold. It wasn't gonna happen. With The Rock, I feel like with The Rock has to come out at WrestleMania and then screw Cody Rhodes out of winning. Because like even if you flip it the other way, where if Cody wins, I feel like you can have if Stone Cold is in Vegas. If Stone Cold comes out, stuns The Rock, everybody's going home happy. Bottom line, everybody's going home. That was insane.
Yeah.
So you have that moment. But no matter what, I feel like you can have the final boss come out. But at the end of the day, if it's not leading to The Rock versus Cody Rhodes, if you're not furthering that storyline, does it really matter? You know what I mean?
Sure. Podcast Ed, your thoughts?
Oh, we're gonna see him in London next week. That's what I think is gonna happen.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna see him in London next week, whether that's a pre-tape or something. I think we're gonna see him next week. I think you have to. That's just me. Like you have to have some kind of presence, just to kind of put that doubt into your head of, yeah, he's gonna screw Cody no matter what, and he's gonna do whatever it takes to screw Cody. So yeah, I think we'll see him at Mania. I'm gonna take this now into the future. If you're ready for this, Mr. Cincinnati, I asked you this yesterday, so I'm gonna ask Devontae today.
What's up?
Cena wins. Let's just say it. Cena wins the title. And he holds it until he's ready to retire. Who is beating John Cena for that title?
Who is beating John Cena for that title? People are not going to like this, but Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes is going to beat John Cena for that title. And the reason why is I truly believe they're doing every single bit of all of this to make him the biggest star, period. Like, I feel like, for example, you look at Finish the Story. When he came back after WrestleMania 38, it was a very cool wrestling story. It was a wonderful wrestling story. But when The Rock got involved into it and the whole Rock versus Roman getting canceled for Cody to finish the story, that turned from it being just a normal wrestling story to like a global story. Yeah. Sad to say, when the Eagles won the Super Bowl, they literally were like, finish the story. That's literally their whole thing was like, finish their story. And I was like, wow, look at the NFL copying wrestling. This is insane. Maybe there is a script, but like, that's okay. It's literally wrote perfectly. And then John Cena turning heel. John Cena would never turn heel if there wasn't somebody who could be that next guy like Cody Rhodes. Like Cody Rhodes made the greatest business decision I think I've ever seen in wrestling, leaving AEW. Basically, he was like, damn, I want to be champion. I can't be champion here because I'm the boss. You know what? I'm out. Now, not only did he beat one of the best heels ever in Roman Reigns, after a 4-year title run that pretty much brought wrestling back to being as popular as it is. He ends that. Now he has the title. Cody has a title. He loses to Cena. It's the best person to lose to. And then if he beats John Cena as a full heel for a year in Madison Square Garden, where his father never got the title, if he gets to hold that title up in Madison Square Garden, it will go like it'll take. Not only will it complete his story, it'll complete Cody's story, and then that gives who I think will win the title next year, no matter what, at WrestleMania 42, CM Punk.
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
I have the mentality of we've done this before. Yep, I like that.
Fernando's popping that out there. Well, I mean, King of the Ring is around the corner. I mean, if there's anybody
No. We broke the streak with the wrong person.
No.
Cena's gonna retire
right now.
Cena's gonna retire. You give it to Braun Breaker. Make a star. It's time to make a new star. And Braun Breaker, you can't tell me he's not ready. I think that's who beat Cena for that title. Cody's already made. You finished the story with Cody. He got it. Did the thing that his father never did.
Got the Mania send off.
Braun Breaker is your next big time star. have him beat John Cena. It doesn't have to be at SummerSlam. I think it's more towards December. But I think if Cena's going to retire and drop that strap, you make a star, not give it to an established star.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that at all. You triggered me when you said the word streak. I'm a Brock Lesnar fan, diehard Brock Lesnar fan. Like my most biased, like if I'm being biased, Brock Lesnar is my number one of all time. But like logically, no, he's not my number one of all time. Logically,
Yeah,
but my personal Brock Lesnar is my favorite because, like, to me, I know they use this. Logan Paul's had the greatest rookie year. Nobody had a rookie year like Brock Lesnar, and nobody ever will. It's not even close. How do you main event? How do you?
Kurt Angle might have something to say about that, though.
All right, let's talk about it. Okay.
The Undertaker too. He did win the title in the first year.
Well,
I'm an Undertaker. I'm an Undertaker guy, so we will go back and forth.
We can do this. Like well, Brock Lesnar debuts the day after WrestleMania 18. By SummerSlam, he's fighting The Rock for the title. Then you go forward. Then he beats Hulk Hogan. I don't even say beat. He destroys Hulk Hogan. At that time, Hulk Hogan was Hulk Hogan, not the guy we know now. Hulk Hogan, he destroys Hulk Hogan. Then you go even forward. You go to WrestleMania 19, which on paper, one of the most stacked WrestleManias ever. You have Shawn Michaels, you have Triple H, you have another certain person that did some horrible things on horrible things. You have The Undertaker. You have Hogan and Vince is on that card. Rock and Austin is on that card. Shawn Michaels and Jericho is on that card. The main event of the show is Brock Lesnar versus Kurt Angle. Brock Lesnar wins the title. He actually won the Royal Rumble to get there. Nobody had a better year than Brock Lesnar. The amount of stars he beat in 1 year is ridiculous.
I can't disagree with you. I will say Taker's number one all time. Just throw it out there.
He has the greatest resume ever. Nobody will have a resume like The Undertaker. The Undertaker has fought everybody, and it's kind of criminal how he stayed that character for that long. But also, Brock was the one to beat the streak at the time. Nobody knew Roman Reigns would have turned into the tribal chief. Nobody knew that was going to happen.
No.
Brock Lesnar was the right person to do it. It actually revived Brock's career, for being honest.
We won't get into it right now.
We'll have you back on. We'll have an entire debate. We do have to move on, guys. I want to talk about this very, very briefly, and this was this past Friday on SmackDown. We had this the face-to-face between Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton. Very, very divisive on the internet. Some people feel that Tiffany was hung out to dry. Others feel it's a sink or swim, and Charlotte just happens to be a better swimmer. Devontae, we know you commented a little bit on this. Tell me your thoughts of watching this segment, and have you watched it back since it was live?
Oh, a few times. I watched it back a few times. This is the most painful one for me because Tiffany Stratton's like my current favorite right now.
Yeah.
Charlotte Flair to me is the greatest women's wrestler, period. Like in-ring wrestler, Charlotte Flair. I don't think anybody really has any better matches than Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley to me is one of the greatest women's matches I've ever saw in my life. I was like, insane. With that being said, whoever is writing, I don't know if Tiffany Stratton is going off the cuff with her verbiage or somebody's writing that. Whoever wrote that needs to be fired. Tiffany, Tiffany Stratton is a really good heel character. We don't know why we like Tiffany Stratton, besides the fact that she's really hot. And that's a problem with whoever's writing her. At this point, you know how established Charlotte Flair is. She came back, won the Rumble in one night. We need something to know why we believe Charlotte Flair should lose at WrestleMania. Because right now, people are booing Charlotte Flair because they don't really like Charlotte Flair. They're tired of her. We're not cheering Tiffany because we don't really know who Tiffany is as a person. We don't have nothing you don't hear a story of Tiffany persevering and how she rose to the top in such a quick fashion. And it's probably because she talks like she's stuck up. She's kind of an asshole if you really think about it. So it's kind of like we have two heels going face to face at WrestleMania when we should have a baby face versus a heel. We don't have a reason to hate Tiffany Stratton. And that's the biggest reason why it doesn't work.
Yeah. And it feels like there was some true intention for Charlotte to be the babyface in this match. At least that was the initial idea of we can sell this and this is going to be fine. Mission incomplete. It just Charlotte Flair is not a convincing babyface. Tiffany Stratton, we've never really seen as a babyface. When she was brought up to the main roster, she was brought up as a heel. She was just getting a good reaction that they were pleasantly surprised by. But there really hasn't been much character work, especially in this alliance with Nia Jax, up until she screwed her over and cashed in the championship. That was it. That was the pop that she got first of the year and a bunch of title changes that kind of kicked off 2025. But we haven't really yet, as you guys have said, seen what babyface Tiffany Stratton is about. You know, I think she was gymnastics at Minnesota. Like, lean more into that. Lean more into the why you got into wrestling, because I think she gave an interview where she was just like, my mom saw Charlotte Flair doing this on TV and said, you could do that. And Tiffany on paper should be the perfect heel here of, you're washed up. This is my time now. Like, that's an easy story to tell with heel Tiffany Stratton. It's just that we don't want to buy into babyface Charlotte Flair. And that, like, yeah. And I mean, Fernando also said it. Charlotte cooked her. Like that. It's just, it doesn't get any easier to watch.
It was embarrassing. Like, it was embarrassing. Like, I felt so bad. Because, like, I felt bad for her because I'm like, somebody wrote that and told her to say that. And no matter how she delivered it, I'm like, that wasn't going to work, period. That's what, like, for me, it was more about the words versus more than, like, how she said it. Like, some people had a problem with the way she said it because she didn't sound confident. Nobody would have sounded confident with those words they gave her because it did not work. Like, we need, like you said, everything perfectly. We need to know why we care about Tiffany Stratton. And they didn't do that.
You think we'd care more about Tiffany Stratton if she said yeet?
Oh, are you one of those Jey Uso guys?
I am a Jey Uso guy, but I am a little worried. I'm pretty worried about.
I'm definitely worried.
This is. But like, the thing is, both Rumble stories, like, both Rumble builds suck right now, and they're trying so hard to get that lightning back. But this is, I honestly, Big Jim is going to save this feud. I think, like, adding some unseriousness in to be them. I know that. I'm just saying that you got to go with what you got here. Okay.
I'm more interested in Jimmy and Gunther after one segment than I am Jay Gunther.
Yeah.
I think it's also, like, for me, a lot of the times, if you ever notice, big segments always feel big when you're also in where they need to be. Like, when they're in the main event, where they're in the opening segment, they feel the biggest. You have the World Heavyweight Championship. You have this whole feud. They're always in the middle of the card. You had, for the last 2 weeks, we had IC title matches, women's tag matches in the main event. So, of course, by the time you get to the main event, you forget everything that happened in the middle of the show. Yeah. We have no idea what happens with Jay. Why are they not in the big moments? I have no idea. And I feel like with their story, with Jay, I feel like Jay's also suffering that half of that where nobody really wanted Jey Uso to win anyway. If we're being honest, like, nobody really picked Jey Uso to win. So I feel like he has half of that. And also, like, they're telling this whole story about doubt and all of this.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make sense. He could have just told his story about doubt and that, like, how, like, he wants to be Gunther. Nobody cares about the fact that he lost to Gunther 3 times in a row. Nobody cares. It was not like Gunther was doing all of this to him before then to get to here. Gunther all of a sudden was just like, hey, you choose me. I'm just going to beat you up every week. And he's literally been beating him up every week. And it's just weird.
Let me ask you this, because we've seen kind of this underdog story before. Would this move the needle for either of you guys if instead of Jimmy Uso being the savior of this story, that we're using Sami Zayn, whose path to WrestleMania as we sit here right now is not very clear?
Nope. No. Nope. Only because they beat him last year.
Because this isn't Yeso-mania. This isn't Kofi-mania. They're trying to make it Yida-mania. It's not the same.
I have a follow-up question.
Yeah, sure.
If Jay wins the title, which no matter how you slice it, if you like it or not, it is going to be if he doesn't win the title at WrestleMania, it's going to be like one of the biggest, most messed up moves I've ever seen in life. No matter what, we're in a corner, backed into a corner. He has no choice but to win.
Yep.
If he wins the title, to make him effective, who's his next big challenger to make him effective?
The winner of the triple threat.
Yep.
Has to be. They're all on Raw. They're all on Raw. Roman, Punk, Rollins. All three of them are on Raw.
Yeah.
Interesting. Because I think CM Punk's going to win that match. I definitely think CM Punk's going to win that match.
I think Rollins is going to win.
Ooh.
And he might have some help. Dude, Seth Rollins is a Paul Heyman guy.
You think he's the next Paul Heyman guy?
Why the hell not?
He's already sold out before.
Yeah. He's made it clear that he's for sale. Like it's I mean, we have seen and let's just go back through kind of the history of Paul Heyman in WWE. We've seen him turn on Brock Lesnar a couple of times. We've seen him turn on the Big Show. We've seen him turn on Kurt Angle. We're not even going to pretend that Curtis Axel and Cesaro ever happened. CM Punk, he's turned like. It would not surprise me if he stabs the tribal chief and goes you know what? I gave you advice and counsel and kept you on top for 5 years. You drop the ball, and the second you do, I'm the one that gets taken out by your family. Fuck off.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm not mad at that. that. I feel like for a Paul Heyman, though, I feel like if I had to pick a guy, the person would be Jacob Fatu. Like, I just feel like Jacob Fatu has everything to be a main eventer. He has absolutely everything. Like, I didn't even really see a lot of his indie work when he was in like MLW and stuff like that. I didn't really see a lot of it.
Match with the Hammer Stoner.
Like, I'll definitely have to look those up because like I didn't see a lot of his work. But when I first saw him cut a promo, like my face went, oh, okay. Now I understand. Because at first I'm like, he's an elite wrestler. That's great. But for me, I'm always been like I'm a promo storyline guy over a match all day long. So like for me, if you sell me on a promo, all right, now you're on my radar. And every promo he does before he walks out to a match, I'm like, you got me ready to run through a wall. Like, but I think Paul Heyman should be a girl. The next it should be a Paul Heyman girl. Paul Heyman helping a woman I don't care if it's Nia Jax, if it's Julia, Jordan Grace, Stephanie. I don't care who it is. Paul Heyman helping a female in the women's division will elevate that division alone. And it desperately needs to be elevated.
Yeah. I don't disagree.
Perfect person would be Ronda Rousey.
Oh, God, no.
I said shut up. Like I meant like back then.
All right.
Back then. Not now.
No more.
Not now.
No more.
Not now.
No more.
No, not now.
We're done with that.
I meant when you first came in.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I could do that. Just not right now, please. No more dark times. No more dark times.
No.
Devonta, it's been awesome to have you on, man. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Before we wrap up here, where can everybody find you on social media? How can we stay connected?
You can find me on TikTok at Mr. Forever times Infinity. Well, X Infinity. And you can find me on Twitter at Devonta_Foreman. And boys, it's been a pleasure. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Hoping that this is not the last time that we have you on the show. This has been great here. I think we're gonna need some more time next time that we have you on for sure. But thank you to everybody that has joined us tonight as well. Make sure you follow us on X and TikTok at Junkies Pod. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram at Wrestling Junkies Pod, but subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are on the road to 500 subscribers. We need your help to get there. I think that the current count is 443. We are so damn close. Help us out. Podcast ad. What should our friends do?
Tell one person if you like what we're doing here. Subscribe. Have some fun with us. Jump in those comments. We'll interact. I like to have fun.
Yeah, it's a good time for sure. But thank you guys once again for Devonta Forever for the podcast dad. I'm Mr. Cincinnati. This has been the Wrestling Junkies podcast. We'll be back tomorrow night with Jameson Shook. We're going to talk some HOTTOGO. This has been the Wrestling Junkies podcast. We'll talk to you tomorrow.